now watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
If you grew up in the 90s, you remember the Bloods and the Crips when they was putting out music and videos. And a lot of people said that the Bloods and the Pirus had the best music. And do I agree with that? I think some of the production was good. And even though we on this side of the tracks, I do think that some of their music was banging. We all listened to it. They listened to ours. We listened to theirs. Everybody was in competition. Who made the best records? Now, it was this one particular record called Piru Love. Everybody know that song. That song went platinum. Bloody Mary, Red Rum, it's rest in peace. It's a few others that was on that album, man, on that record. Coming to find out, it wasn't even the Piru or Blood that was singing the hook, the chorus. And back in them days, it was way serious. It was for real. This one, everybody was hypnotized by the red rag and the blue rag, or should I say flag. Everybody was gone. Everybody was hypnotized, and only the real could represent them flags. This song right here is still to this day an anthem for the Pirus. But like I said, y'all not gonna believe who sang the chorus. And man, this right here is it's interesting. Let's go check it out, man. We not gonna waste no more time. All right, this is Boys in the Hood TV. Let's check this out.
1, 2, 3, 4 clips on another mission.
Welcome to Boys in the Hood TV. Today we're going to be discussing the life of a Compton Crip named 4 Clips from Kelly Park. Now 4 Clips, born Elijah Salim, was born September 17, 1973 in Compton, California. He, along with his siblings, will be raised in a 2-parent home. Now 4 Clips will be raised in a very religious home with a devout Muslim family who regularly attended the local mosque. Now by his 10 years, 4 Clips would discover his natural singing abilities, but at the time, school was much more important. He, along with his brother, would attend Dominguez High in Compton. Now in the mid-'80s, gangbanging had already swept through Compton, and by high school, most kids had already picked a side. Now 4 Clips, along with his brother, were heavily affiliated with the Kelly Park Compton Crips. Now by his senior year, Compton would make a splash in the music business with the arrival of NWA. Now this would inspire a lot of gang members and a lot of non-gang members to experiment with rapping. Now Eazy-E, who was from Kelly Park, would be a big inspiration for 4 Clips to jump in the music industry. Now although there was a lot to be proud of being from Compton at this time with the rise of NWA, but at the same time, on the flip side, drug and gang violence would be on the rise. Now it's been reported that in 1990, there were 91 homicides per 100,000 residents, and this was an all-time high in Compton. Now,
and that was in 1990, man. Black bodies been dropping since, well, before that, but due to this gang violence, man, can y'all imagine all the people that we lost, how far we'd be if we wasn't unaliving each other, how far we'd be on the job sites? We'd have more black supervisors hiring us on these job sites. We'd be in the game. We'd be in the game, but man, we are still caught up in taking each other out the game. And this is why, to keep it a buck, we lose in the city. A lot of people take pride in the city. They say these hoods and all that, but when you really go through these hoods, you rarely see blacks up in them. You still have black families that live there, but most of these neighborhoods are, ran by Hispanics. They are the majority in all these areas. Let's get back to this.
In 1991, 4 Clips will be arrested after being charged with disturbing the peace during a dice game. Now, because this was a misdemeanor, he would only spend a little time in county and eventually get out. Now, once 1992 swept in, a peace treaty amongst the gangs would take place after the beating of Rodney King, and we would see unity amongst all the LA gangs all the way to Compton. Now, from within this peace treaty, this would lead to an idea to bring together both Bloods and Crips for a collaborative rap album called Bangin' on Wax. Now, Tweety Bird Loke from Kelly Park, along with OG Ronnie Ron, who was the founder of Dangerous Records, would put all the pieces together. Now, along with Tweety Bird, who was from Kelly Park, other Kelly Park Crips will participate, like 4 Clips, D Fingers, and Yall will get on board. And with this album, this will be an opportunity for 4 Clips to show off his talent. Now, he was not only chasing his music dream, but also a possible dream in Hollywood. Now, in early 1992, he would try for the biopic for Tina Turner called What's Love Got to Do. Now, although he was 20 years old, he would land a small role as the 16-year-old version of Ike Turner Jr. Now, after filming his role, he would have to reshift his focus back to the rap game to lay down his music for Bangin' on Wax album. Now, before the album even came together, the Bloods and Crips would all meet up at the legendary Leon Haywood's studio to discuss the album. But things would take a turn for the worse, nearly destroying almost any chance of this album happening.
The Bloods is on one side, the Crips is on one side. We're looking at each other. Some of us know each other, some of us don't. Tweety Bird and Red Rum came together to introduce both person from their hood. So that went well. With them being funny, a bagging session started. Next thing you know, tell your boy to hush. He's saying too much. You know, he can't handle it. This shit's fun, but you want to take it serious, we can. So next thing you know, Coach started opening up and motherfuckers was grabbing their pistols.
Now, once the album got the green light, 4 Clips will go by his stage name, Young Malcolm. Now, although he was repping Kelly Park and representing the Seaside, due to his talent and vocal ability, he will be asked by the executive producers of the label to record the hook for the Die Moves. And that's
Wow. Wait. Hold up, Rick Rock. Hold up. Don't stop it. Let's go back.
the executive producers of the label to record the hook for the Die Moves. And that song would be their main single, Pirus Love, which would drop in 1993.
There you have it, man. Hey, listen. To be a Crip back then and to sing Pirus Love from Compton, that's where the Pirus originated from, started at in Compton. And back then, like I say, it was serious. It was for real. It wasn't none of this play. You didn't see Bloods and Crips hanging out with each other, Pirus and all that. They had the peace treaty, but still, before all that, they stayed on their side. They stayed on their side. You probably had a few that was doing business with each other, but it wasn't showcased how you see it today. So for this to happen, this guy to get on their song and do this hook is legendary. That is legendary. For these guys to come together and make an album, that is legendary. Shout out to Battle Cat, Tweety Bird, Loke, and all the rest of the guys who put that album together. Even though it was to show people that we don't gotta unalive each other in the street, we could do something positive and make the music together. But now when you look back at it, it still was the cause was still, it wasn't good, because that album didn't do nothing but motivate and pump dudes up still to go at each other, because it was dissing. One side was them, one side was these guys, and they were still going at each other. So yeah, in the streets, they listen to this music and they get turned up. They hear these guys saying crabs on one side. They hear these guys saying slob on one side. They saying Daru. All this dissing that was going on wasn't healthy at all. The cause for them to get together was cool, but the message, it did more harm than anything.
Pirus love. I said a Pirus love.
Now, this experience will be life-changing for 4 Clips. Now, also that same year, in the summer of 1993, the movie What's Love Got to Do would drop, and although he had a small time on camera, Compton would see they own on the big screen.
Say hey to your mom.
Now, not long after, 4 Clips would have a run-in with the law after being arrested on multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon, pointing a laser at a police officer, battery, and attempted petty theft. Now, he would eventually be only convicted of the pointing the laser at the officer, and all the other charges would be dismissed. In total, he would only spend 24 days in county, and in the end, he would get 24 months probation. Now, once 1994 hit, this would be a big year for 4 Clips. He would go on to sign a solo deal with Dangerous Records, and with this album, he would show off his rapping abilities, and immediately he would be able to put his skills to display on his homie Tweety Bird's album called No Holds Barred.
1, 2, 3, 4 Clips on another mission. Goddamn, I got 2 Glocks and a Mac 10.
Now, also on that same album, 4 Clips will be heard on a diss track aimed at Eazy-E, singing the hook and also doing a verse disrespecting Eazy-E along with Tweety Bird Loke.
PT, like that bitch ass nigga Eazy-E. Coming to my hood, wanna shoot a video, but what about your dead homie's funeral?
But after having
Ooh, wow, I never heard that. I never heard that song, man. And they from the same section. Eazy-E from that section. Mothers, I believe they house still, they family still own the house. In that session, shout out to Lil Eazy-E. Shout out to his sister Erica. Shout out to the Wright family. Shout out to them. Without Eazy-E, man, it definitely, this rap music on this side of town wouldn't have went this far. Even though you had Ice-T, shout out to him. They was before King T, Mixmaster Spade, Tidy T, and all those guys. For y'all that's young, I don't have a clue who I'm talking about. But these are the guys who set the trend for all these guys to want to do the type of music that NWA was doing. And to this day, that style of gangster rap or whatever you call that stuff, the imagery of the ghetto, is still here today, man. Oh yeah, shout out New York too, man. You can't forget about them, man. Broken glass everywhere. Remind me of Oakland, man. When I went to Oakland, seen all that glass on the ground, I said, man, it's Bip City for real. Let's get back to this though. This is what we on.
in this feature, he will also make his return on the Bangin' on Wax 2 album, and this time he'll be doing the hook for both Bloods and Crips on the laid-back record called I Wish You Were Here. Now by 1995, Four Clips will release his own debut album called Just Be Thankful along with the video.
The east side, west side, true riders, new riders, get off your ass and pass y'all.
Now that same year, 95, he will also be asked to collab with the Bloods yet again, but this time for the Die Move Riders album. Now once 1996 rolled in, Compton had become a war zone, not only between the Pirus and Crips, but Pirus against Pirus. And at this point, the peace treaty had become a thing of the past, and it was on site. And by September of 96, things would get even worse once Tupac Shakur was killed by the Southside Crips. Now with all this chaos going on, Four Clips would notice that his music career didn't quite take off as he had expected to. Even with all the features and the release of his solo album over the past several years,
I know why I could put my finger on it. What it was, this Eazy-E. Eazy-E was the man back then, man. And if you went against him, I'm pretty sure some blackballing was involved with that. Because I now I hear his voice. He had some flow back then, and he could sing. I didn't know he was on some of these songs that they saying that he was on. But yeah, that Damu Riders album, when that stuff came out, what's that dude, B Brazy? The one who in jail, he's named after him. When B Brazy hit the scene, man, he represented what we seen on a daily basis, man. He had the curl. You know, he was one of the ones, man. We seen Easy and all them with the curls, but when B Brazy came out, he looked at exactly what we seen Blood or how Pyro looked back in the days. We wore the same thing. Our colors was just blue, and he did it. All them dudes on Damu Riders, man. Them dudes, man. They had some hits on that album. I ain't gonna lie, man. They had some banger. The Nationwide Rip Riders, that was the Crip album. They had some bangers on that too. But when that first came out, I'm telling you firsthand, I was 15 when that album came out. And I heard a lot of people saying, man, the Bloods album sound better, man. They production and the way that they was flowing. Shout out my boy Sugar Booger, man. Big Y, rest in peace, man. Them dudes was rapping, homie. Them dudes was rapping.
he was still in the hood trying to make it out. Now this would lead to Four Clips running the streets. And in that same month of September, he would be arrested on burglary and grand theft charges. Now, he would plead no contest, but in the end, he would take a plea deal. Now, the burglary charge would be dismissed, but he would be sentenced for the other charge. Now, in 1997, Four Clips will be back out on the streets. Now, by 1998, Compton was still a hot spot for gang violence, but Four Clips were yet again.
I was already in prison when 1998. Man, these time fly by fast.
And find himself in trouble with the law after being arrested on battery charges. Now he will be convicted, but be given another chance and be only sentenced to 2 years probation. Now Clips around this time had been kicking it with San Loke from the neighborhood Compton Crips. Now both would start to discuss a plan for Clips to do the hook on one of San Loke's songs called Still Rollin'. But sadly, before they could even record this song, death will come for Four Clips. On October 27, Four Clips and San Loke would meet up at the Underworld Records and Tape Shop on Alondro Boulevard. Now, this was a popular spot owned by Big A, a very, very close friend of the late Eazy-E.
Shout out Big A, man. The homie, real one right there. Shout out Big A, man. That's how I met Bone Thugs and Harmony through BG Knockout. Big A. I done been around I done met a lot of people. I done been around, man. Man, these stories, every time I see stuff like this, it remind me of the places I've been. I just be so caught up in these reactions. I never really had a chance to tell a lot of stuff that I didn't experience and been through and seen. Like, I'm not your average guy that's on here creating this stuff, man. A lot of people that's just now getting recognized and getting their money off of here, man. I've been hustling for a long time. I just listen to these cats, man. When they be saying stuff, it's like a lot of this stuff don't add up. But man, for the people that know, they know, man. But yeah, the homie Big A, man, for sure.
Now, Big A was known for having well-known celebrities pull up to this spot anytime they touched down in Compton. Now, later that night, after kicking it, Four Clips and Sin Loc will go their separate ways, but they had planned on meeting back up together later on that night. Now, as Four Clips rode his bike right down the street, an unknown assailant would pull up and open fire. Four Clips will be hit multiple times as he collapsed on the pavement. Now, police and paramedics would arrive on scene, but sadly, 25-year-old Four Clips would be pronounced dead at the scene.
That sound about right. Rest in peace to Four Clips. I never knew this dude, man. I send my condolences out to him and his family. But that's how it was, man. Riding bikes and walking and all that stuff was definitely a way to lose your life back then. I know a lot of people, man, that had lost their life just walking to the store, walking from here to there. Didn't plan on going too far, lost their life. I knew a cat, man, that got into it with his girlfriend, and he jumped out. He left out the house, man, talking on his phone, and he got unalived. We seen it all on the video footage. It was crazy, man. Yeah, back then you definitely couldn't be walking or riding no bike without no thing on you.
Now, Sin Loc would arrive shortly after to see the police covering Four Clips' body as he laid on the ground.
I saw yellow tape, and when I saw the yellow tape, I see the police out there. I saw Four Clips' bike on the ground. So many feet away, I saw Four Clips' body being covered up by a sheet.
I would like to thank everybody for tapping in, and
shout out Sin Loc, man. Y'all go over there to Boys in the Hood TV. He got some good stuff over there, man. Like, if you like them type of videos where he breaking it down, he got some good videos over there, man. So y'all go over there and check out Boys in the Hood TV. Subscribe to their channel. And yeah. But anyway, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. What do y'all think about all this, man? Did y'all know that was a Crip singing Pirus Love? I think that voice alone, that's what made the song. The people on there, they was rapping too. Bloody Mary, rest in peace. They was rapping. Sin Loc, all them guys, man, they was over there rapping, but that chorus is what saved them on that song, man. Man, it's crazy what you find out, make you think we've been played for a long time, man. And back then, instead of it being monetization, it was a check. That's why sometimes they don't care about number what the check say, man. And that's evidence right there. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when